Hey everybody, welcome back into the shop again today. Steve with Swamp Bottom Baits here with you. Today we are going to be doing a review of some shifting powders slash flakes. They're kind of a combination. I said something about this in the previous video that it was going to be coming up. So we had these sent to us and we are going to go ahead and do up a few colors. I've already messed with them a little bit over on Twitch. We're going to see what they can do. We're going to heat them up and we're going to abuse them and we're going to see how they hold up and see what we can come up with. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright, welcome back everybody. So what we've got here's half a cup of Red Label from Dead On, and this is 47 Lures. Is who sent me this powders. So the samples we got, we're going to use RX4, FX1, and RX6. So those are the three I want to do. I want to start out with this RX4 because it's got this like purplish bluish look to it, and I kind of like that. I've already messed with a couple of the colors. And I'm doing it in a different spot today. This is where I do my live on Twitch. So we're going to go with about a 1/16. So I'm using an 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm going to go with roughly about half of that. And the couple colors I messed with already, I really like the looks of. I was kind of impressed with it. So there we go. You kind of see that purplish bluish, well, pinkish bluish in there. So being half a cup, I want to add half a drop of black. So I'm going to take, I got a plastic bag here, a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put a drop on there, and then I'm going to drag my knife through it, because I don't want a full drop in this half a cup. So just drag my knife through it, get some right there. I just want to darken it just a touch to bring that pop out. And I'm thinking maybe we ought to drag it through again. There we go. So darken it up a bit. Now you're getting that color a lot more. You can see the pink showing up right there and the blue. So I've got another cup in the mic right now. So I'm going to take this, put this in, get this heating up. Let's throw that bag in the trash. So we've got another cup here. Let's put some heat to that. So let's see. I see a bit of a gel stage there. Let's see where we're at. All right, 256. So we are good. Let's go ahead and grab this orange. And get this orange going also. I don't know what I'm going to add to this orange to make it pop. That's why I'm doing it over here, is because this is where all of my liquid pigments are at, and I've got the fan turned off. This stuff is real light, goes everywhere, so you have to pay attention to that. And this has got like a goldish green, orangish hue to it. So you see the orange right there. You see that green showing up. So we are going to take and we are going to test these out, see how they look, and then we're going to abuse them a little bit and see what they can handle. So let's get that in the vacuum chamber. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab down my fatty shad here. We're just going to open pour one bait in the fatty shad. And see how they look. I'm not sure if I need to add anything to that. We might leave that one just how it is. Might leave that one just how it is. I don't know if y'all can hear that thunder in the background. We got a storm coming in. So I'm going to flash the top of this real quick. Take any surface bubbles off of it. And then I'm just going to open pour. So we get a look at what this looks like in a bait. Alright, so there's that one. That one there, I don't see any bubbles in it. Let's get this other one in heating up. Okay, now I'm seeing the bubbles start to rise from it just sitting there, so let's get that in the vacuum chamber real quick. And I'm thinking I might take these over to the open pour table and do an open pour with all three of them. So we'll layer them up in a 4-inch swim bait. So I usually don't use the red label and open pouring, so that'll be something a little bit different for me. I like the regular swim bait, jerk bait blend, black label. Now remember, we didn't add anything to this one to bring that color out at all. So this is going to be the straight powder pigment that they sent us. So there's that one. And let's see where this cup is sitting at. I still see a little bit of white down there on the bottom. Let's mix it up and see where we're sitting at. All right, 257, 260. I'm sorry, 357, 360. So we are good there. So let's go ahead and put some of this last one in there. So this is kind of like a green silver from what I can see right here. I don't know if you can see that flying all over the place, but it is. Alright, so you got a bit of a green. You see there's some silver in there. Let's take and put a drop of something in there. See if we can bring that to pop a little bit more. Let's go with some light melon. So See how it's green? We'll just kind of give it a little drop of green. See if that'll bring it out to pop a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. So you can see. So let's get a little bit more heat to that. And we'll get that poured in there. And then we'll heat these up. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and go over and maybe do an open pour with it. Just for the heck of it, play around a little bit, see what we can do. So I think I'll go with this orange type for the belly. And then we'll go with the green for the middle line. And then our bluish purple for the back. So there we go, we are heated up. Now we're not going to have to worry about anything, the flake sinking in them other molds, just because the fact and matter of there's no actual flake in here. This powder seems to be suspended really well. So we'll get this one here poured up real quick. Then I will get the hot plate all set up, and we'll go over there and do an open pour. I think this is going to be a little bit long of a video, just because of everything we're doing. Like I said, I want to take and do it justice as far as what I think of it. And I'm also want to take and basically abuse it a little bit to see what kind of temperatures it can handle. Supposedly this is supposed to be high temp, so we will put that to the test towards the end of the video. All right. Let's go ahead and pour this one. There we go. Now that's going to have to cool down. So I'm going to stop it here. We are going to go over to the open pour table. I'll bring y'all back in just a minute, and we'll do up a couple layered baits. All right. So I've got the other colors in the microwave trying to stay warm. We've got our hot plate on about 250. So let's go ahead and pour a belly color. Like I said, I've never poured with the red label before, so this is a new experience for me to see how it comes out. I'm used to the black label medium. And the red label doesn't seem to flow quite the same as the black label. So it is definitely a thicker plastic as far as how it pours. And I know the black label is a lot more workable at the lower temperatures. So I'm not trying to be exact on these. I'm just trying to see what it looks like. So I'm going to put a little bit more heat to this vein color. I'm going to up the temperature on the hot plate to roughly about 300. So, and I want to make sure these bond, like I said, not knowing how this is going to react. So they're going to be a little bit of noise. I am going to pull out the heat gun and use the heat gun to get it melted. So a little bit of noise here. Now, I think I did that backwards. I think I said I wanted the orange for the belly. I ended up putting the green in there. Like I said, this is just, this one here is just a playing around. Just because we had it there to do it. Alright, so there's that. Let's go ahead and kick. I can't run both the hot plate and the heat gun at the same time, so it will trip the breaker. So let's get that hot plate kicked back up again. And get some heat onto our back color. Not quite hot enough. Let's get a little bit more heat to it. Let's see. I'm not sure where that's sitting at. Alright, there's our back color. Let's just go ahead and pour it. I'm not going to worry about trying to do anything with that. We'll have to let these cool down before we can demold them. That little drip off to the side there. I am liking the looks of this one here, though. This bluish purple. So anybody who's stuck around for all this, I really appreciate it. So this is a long video. Like I said, this here wasn't necessary, but I want to give this stuff a fighting chance to see how it reacts. So there are those. Let's go ahead and get that turned off. Let's take you back over to the other table, and let's take a look at what them hand pours and the fatty shad turned out as, and let's see if we can abuse this a little bit. All right, welcome back over here. So this is the one I'm going to try to abuse and see how it happens, what happens with it. And the reason I'm going with this one is because this is just the straight powder stuff that came out of the container. The other ones we added some pigment to, so I don't want to do that because the pigment might change it. So we're going to abuse this one. So we're going to put that in. We'll start out with 30 seconds and we'll take it from there. So there's what we came up with. I said, I really like the purple bluish to that one there. I really like that one. So there's that orangish. I don't know if you can really get a look. There's a gold highlight to that. That looks really nice. And then there is the green that we did. Like I said, we added 1 drop of light melon to that, just to try and pull it out a little bit more. So let's get this out of the way. See what our temperature is at here with this. So we are around 352, 353. Let's go another 30 seconds. Let's pop our sprues off of these. That one goes over there, that one goes there, this one can wait. Like I said, my favorite is definitely that one. I think that's going to have a nice looking back color. The open pores are going to have to cool down before we can demold those, so those are going to take a couple hours. What we'll probably do is just show them to y'all after the fact. All right, it is reading 404, 402. I'm not seeing any degrading there whatsoever. Still got that same color we had when we started. You should never be working with anything quite this hot, but let's take it further. Let's go with another 15 seconds and see what temp we get off of that. So maybe we'll go ahead and pour another one. All right, there's another 15 seconds. Let's Still looks exactly the same. I don't see any degradation there at all. We're at 438. And bouncing around a little bit. There's 420, 422. Let's pour one and take a look at this compared to the one that we poured where we should have been at. Now that's going to take a little bit longer to cool down. So, my opinion on this is I'm quite impressed with the looks of them. I'm quite impressed that we just heated that one up that far, and I don't see any degradation at all. The plastic should never get that hot, and of course that says something good about dead on plastics right there, because I mean, I took that up to 422, 423, and it was still fine. It hadn't burned. We didn't put any heat stabilizer in it at all. So that's a testament to dead on plastics right there. So this one here that we are abusing is the FX1. And like I said, this is going to take a minute to cool down because we did have that super hot. Yeah, we did have that super hot. So, while we're waiting, I'd like to thank everybody for sticking around. This being a real long video. Like I said, I'm trying to do this product justice and seeing how it holds up, how it looks. He sent me a sample pack of, I think it was about, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different colors. So I did a couple of them on Twitch, just playing around. These here I picked out to save for doing this. That's still a bit hot, but I think we can get it out of there. So there we go. We'll set this other one in right next to it. You can get a look at both of them. So the top one was the normal one we did. The bottom one was the heat abused one. They look identical to me. That one there is still really soft. So you be the judge. I don't see any difference. So this definitely will withstand the heat. So thank y'all much, and y'all have a good day. Peace, everybody. All right, so just a real quick right here. So there we go. You can kind of see that center line. Like I said, I made a mistake. I wanted that center line to be that green and the belly to be that orange, but there we go. So all in all, I'm impressed with this this pigment. So thank you much for watching. Y'all have a good one. Peace.